War in the East, there ain't no peace. War in the West, and it's all over the press. War in the North, war in the South. Everywhere you go, you hear them talk about war. Every time it's the same sound, the sound of destruction. Gun violence, in its presented form, is a veneer. It's a bizarre and hurtful phenomenon. They want us to trust it's a standalone issue, with its name blasted in vivid headlines and the feverish tickers of news broadcasts. But there is no such thing as isolated gun violence. It's a terminology fabricated to divert attention, to obscure the larger picture. It's not an autonomous havoc-creating entity. It's a symptom, perhaps, but not the disease itself. The truth upon closer inspection is vastly different. There are crimes enacted by guns, by individuals wielding these tools of potential. The violence springs not from the presence of guns, but from the intentions and the actions of those who misuse them. It is critical to distinguish between the instrument and the wielder, a fact we frequently overlook in our haste to point fingers and assign blame. Let's unpack this further, really probe into the heart of the matter. Everything, when stripped down to its raw essentials, it's all about supply and demand, gains and losses, and guns are no exception to this rule. From their creation to their sale, every aspect is governed by the complex and occasionally ruthless laws of trade. Let's examine this, dissect this complex web. The gun market isn't a single entity. It's composed of a myriad of guns, each with its unique features and selling points. Handguns, rifles, shotguns, and more. The selection is as diverse as it is extensive. These are commodities akin to cars or smartphones or high-end apparel. And what's a commodity without a marketplace? Like all products, guns need to be sold. Vendors turn to advertising, to promotion, to generate desire and demand. They sketch an image of power and control, often glorifying the destructive potential of their products. So does the ammunition industry. Bullets are marketed just as aggressively, pouring gasoline on an already ignited market. War in the East, there ain't no peace. War in the West, it's all in the press. War in the North, war in the South. Everywhere you go, you hear them talk about war. Every time I hear the sound of destruction. Yet the gun industry is all a gigantic, convoluted industry with tentacles stretching far and wide. New companies burst onto the scene daily, each one jostling for their piece of the market pie. The game is about who has the biggest and the most intimidating gun. It's a grim competition, a race to the top that often overlooks the societal consequences of their products. The stakes are high, but the potential profits are even higher. Now we must question, who are these advertisements targeting? Who falls in their crosshairs? Consider, if you will, the lower socioeconomic class. Why? A trap. The system is manipulated, a perverse game where the odds are disproportionately against those least able to handle the fallout. It's a vicious cycle, one that perpetuates a narrative of violence and fear. Gun violence is a symptom, a heartbreaking manifestation of a broader systemic problem grounded in socioeconomic disparities, institutional weaknesses, and unrestrained capitalism. It's not the disease itself, but a poignant reminder of a society in dire need of healing, of transformation. The narrative of gun violence is a cover-up, a smokescreen concealing the grim reality about the balance of power, wealth, and manipulation. It's a setup. Check this out. This is where it started with the single parent. Mom got rid of the man of the house, and now you are at home alone. No discipline, you're spoiled. When you can't get what you want, you act out. The government now controls your every move. They threaten you if you don't comply. You're going to be cut off the system, so you follow. Now the system controls you. Now you are surrounded with a poor class around you every day. Now you start to fight for food and money. When mother can't afford your expenses, now you try to get it with a gun because you do not know how to fight. Then you go to jail. With every bad thing that happens to you, now your brain is messed up. When you come out, you start to get rejected. Nowhere to turn, you pick up a gun to get your manhood back. So you start to make a name for yourself on a violent path because now you've got a number and been rejected by society. So now it becomes a cycle. A gun by itself can't kill anyone. Somebody has to pull the trigger. The system is set up. When you commit a crime, everybody gets paid. The police get paid, so does the judge, the prosecutor, the jail, the warden, the city, even the politicians. It's a cycle. Now you become a paycheck for them. If they take away the poverty from the people, you will not have the high rate of gun violence. But they won't. The more violence by gun, the more they get paid through the cycle of corruption. Be smart, my friend. Don't get caught up. Say no to guns. Help elaborate and extend with facts to get my point across on a pre-final level. Thanks.